come clean my entire depression apartment with me. And yes, this is the return of my mental health series 4 months later because my apartment needed a fucking exorcism. I originally was making a lot of headway getting rid of my bed, getting a new bed, getting sheets, getting a little sofa, and I was doing everything myself because, you know, being an adult is the most isolating experience that no one prepares you for. I even went to the laundromat to do some laundry. I'm not sure why I thought doing laundry one time would cure my mental health, but then the level of how just disgusting everything was just super overwhelming, so I went back to my natural roots of letting myself rot in my room. But then one of my friends needed a place to stay for a minute because, you know, the New York City housing crisis and rent is not a joke and we're living in hell. And that's when I started to go back to cleaning again because I didn't want them to have to live in the filth that I live in, which is when I started to question, why am I okay with living in circumstances that I wouldn't want anyone else to live in? Yet when I was back to having my own room, I let the room deteriorate again. Avoidance is a really good tactic if you want nothing to change. At some point I hit a breaking point and it was like I deserve better, and that's when I really started to try. I started doing research on the proper cleaning supplies, bought 2 books about mental health and cleaning, and I'm dyslexic. It was such a lonely experience because honestly I really was putting the rodents in New York City to shame on how I was living. Everything was just so disgusting and years of grime. But I was like, I deserve this place to be clean. It's not fair of a younger version of myself to keep this toxic fucking loop of living in trash. I started thinking about how I made a video like this 2 years ago and I'm still here, and that was the push that really forced me to transform the exorcism that was needed in this apartment. I started to just throw away everything, being like, this is trash, you don't need this, stop justifying you needing these strange items, you hoarder. I also started telling myself all these items are living rent-free in this overpriced apartment, throw it away. In the Marie Kondo book that I skimmed, because I really am dyslexic, they said only keep items that spark joy, and obviously trash and hoarding stuff does not spark joy. I started to remind myself that I don't deserve to live in the circumstances that I grew up in, and the circumstances that got me here don't define me. And when I really hit a wall, my friend Jules came over and they really fucking saved the day and came back 3 days working hours and hours with me on teaching me how to clean properly, teaching me what right products to buy. Even after finally clearing the floors of all the grime, they were still so dirty that the sweepers were not enough, so I went and bought a mop and scrubbed the floors. I didn't even know the floor could look like this. This quote that I found on Instagram really stood out to me about what it meant to have someone else come and help me. One of the biggest lies we've been fed through via Western capitalism is that healing is a solo journey, and that in order to heal that we should figure it out alone and without helping others. Healing has always been done through and with community. And before you see the final transformation, I'm letting you know, as Hannah Montana said, nobody's perfect, and this is a motherfucking series, meaning that there'll be more parts. So I don't want any comments like, this is still dirty. I'm always like, reach out for help, but I have difficulty doing that. And I've been in an experience where I've reached out for help and no one helps. And I don't say that to be negative. I say that because at the end of the day, you have to be your own backbone and be okay with the fact that you have to show up for yourself. People have asked me, how are you not embarrassed to show how you lived, and aren't super understanding how someone who's high functioning and works has end up in situations like this? Firstly, I promise you, no one who lives like this wants to or likes to. Mental health is so stigmatized when it can't be commodified and is more than seemingly a bad day. So I guess why I've overcome embarrassment and shame about the whole situation is because I want to show people who struggle with severe mental health issues that they're not alone and that they can get past this, and that we both deserve to get past this.